we're not about that here. We do it proper. And it's Saturday afternoon and we are back out for a stealth camp. Now this week I'm in Redditch, South Moonsmote, Lidl. That's where I'm currently parked. So I'm going to do some shopping, but I'm here because this was recommended to me by somebody who was watching the channel. I can't remember without looking who the person was. When I come to edit the video, I'll put the name of the person, I'll give you the credit, but I do not think this has been done before. So I'm going to be stealth camping on a clover interchange. Now if you're to look at the maps, it looks like a 4-leaf clover, the way the roads all, yeah. I basically thought to myself, it's something different, and I don't ever remember, as the person who recommended it to me also claimed, don't remember anybody doing anything like this on this kind of interchange, and it could be a first for YouTube. So that'll be interesting. If it isn't, it isn't. I'm still gonna have a good time. I'm gonna get myself some lovely food to cook, get myself some beers, snacks, you know how it goes. And it's just started raining. I've parked up on a little side street, not too far away, and I've got to try and work out now how I can get onto the very spot that I've got in mind. So this is where I parked, in front of this little grass verge here, and I walked along here down Coalfield Drive, and that's where I sort of come down onto the dual carriageway on the grass verge, following it along here, and this is where I intended to camp. So I've had a quick check, and I want to give credit for this week's camp, for the suggestion, to Andrew White 65. Thank you. I'm always open to ideas, as you can see. Got a feeling this is going to be a really good camp. So this is approaching eastbound into Redditch. Now I've got to basically go past this, carry on, and then I will be at the Cloverleaf. Now obviously a Cloverleaf being 4 segments, it's from this direction the first segment I want to get onto. So I've pretty much got to get down there, and the only way that I can think to do it is by coming down that embankment, but it's not much of a walk. Now the idiot that I am, I've left my big bottle of water behind, but it's not a problem. I'm gonna go back for it once I've set up. What I don't want to do is go all the way back with the gear. I might as well take it to where I need to go and then have a stroll. It might even be a bit later on. I don't need any water yet, so what I am going to do is just slip down there. Just going to wait for a little gap in the traffic. Right, there's pretty much a decent enough gap. So this is the only sketchy crossing, to be fair, so I'm going to run over here quickly. As you can see, that's where I come from. Here he goes again with the "as you can see." Of course they can see. It's a video. Now, Andrew White, who suggested this camp to me, he said this was the only 4-leaf clover in Europe. Now, I did check it out, and it's actually the only 4-leaf clover in England. Apparently there's one in Scotland as well. I haven't really looked that up, but I'm where I'm going to be doing the camp, so I'm going to spin you around, and I'm in one of them segments. Now, if I can't find somewhere to camp on there, I should give up stealth camping. Oops, nearly fell over. Lots of holes. Awesome. Wow, straight away, this looks perfect. It's actually a little gem on here. A little noisy, but what you expect on an interchange, eh? But we're rocking the pack. We've got the hyena too, as usual. Now, with it starting to rain, yes, the Timu dry sack, aka a black bin bag. I'm just having a little nose around because the ground isn't the best, as you can see. Lots of, look, I need somewhere relatively flat. Oh, tripping over left, right and centre here. Could this be it? No, it's still very... I want to carry on looking. So, over here, it's hard to make it out, but the ground is awful, as I've already says, and there's nowhere really, it's just all bumpy and goes into holes, as you can see. So you can see the terrain. So, I've had a little walk around, and I found a little spot in there. Now I don't want to be totally enclosed in. I could have just gone in them woods if I wanted to do that. I do want to be out in the open. Be nice just to have a bit of breeze. No condensation in the tent, which you get when you're in woods and there's no breeze regardless. So I think I'm going to have to make do with a little spot over there, as I've already pointed out. I've always got the tarp with me, but I do want to get the tarp up as well. I don't want to be stuck in the tent again all night tonight, because as cosy as it is and as much as I love it when it's raining, you're very limited for space. I mean, I can do everything I need to do in there, but if I've got the tarp up, I can move around and a bit more freedom, and I can still hear the rain on the tarp. Yeah, so that's going to be the plan. So I need to get my pack back on my bag. I need to get my pack back on my back. Yep. And go over there. So I've come from over there. Excuse me. And I'm looking at getting in there. That'll certainly do for me. What a fantastic recommendation. Well, I've got to be honest, this is an epic location. Once again, thank you to, and I've forgotten your name again, I'm terrible. I have already thanked you earlier, of course. Now, because I'm in a very busy interchange, or should I say, sat sort of within a busy interchange, I have in fact brought my little speaker with me, so I can listen to some tunes. No one's going to hear this here. Currently, I'm having some onion rings because I'm a bit hungry. And I'm also going to have me a tin of San Miguel. Yes, a pint can. If you watched the video last week, you'll understand what I'm on about. 568 millilitres of beer. But, yeah. Oh, yeah, so I want to fire up the speaker, have some onion rings and do what I said I'm going to do, chill. Fantastic. Not properly set up yet. I just thought I'd show you around before it gets too dark to see it in all its glory. But this, as I've said already, and I'll repeat myself, what a little gem. And there's another 4 of these. The other one you can see over there, and then over the back you've got the other 2. Now I haven't set the tarp up because the weather app is saying it should be raining now. However, it's not raining. Very few spots in the air, you know, and then by about 8 o'clock it's supposed to be dry all night. So I'm going to chance it. I am going to chance it. Now I'm definitely going to have that beer now. I've actually polished off them onion rings. Greedy, I know. I was hungry. At least the lights are not going to be too invasive tonight. Oh yeah. Oh, now you're talking. So the plan of action is I'm actually going to get that bottle of water that I've left in my boot. Yeah, I don't have to mess around any later going to get water. So once I'm here, I'm settled for the night and then I've got everything I need. Once I get back, I'll show you tonight's meal, tomorrow's breakfast, if it is breakfast and not dinner, of course, but yeah, I'll show you everything. But for now, I'm going to go and get that bottle of water and then I'm satisfied. I don't have to do anything else but chill. So away we go, let's go. Okay, so I have actually got the water, all 5 litres of it. So yeah, I'm all wrapped up nice and warm, not a light off. I have got this lovely garlic sausage to eat. Now I picked it up from Lidl. Now normally I get garlic sausage in the little small packs, but this is all they had, so I'm gonna have to, you know, fight with this. Yeah, but yeah. So again, I'm also back at the camp. Nice little walk, nice and warm now. Got my water. We're all set up for a night now and a morning. And we're gonna have some garlic sausage. Did I already say that? Of course I did. So we're off on walkabout. Let's go. I mean, this is pretty much the only flat area in the entire camp. So I did finally find a spot that would have been perfect. Just down there, look. Yeah, right here. I'm trying to find my way out. It's not that way. It's definitely that way. Again, that is literally only a spot that would have been absolutely perfect. Yeah, I think it crashed. And just like that, it was morning again. Oh, I've been awake about 20 minutes. I didn't get much sleep when I got in from work yesterday in the morning. So, yeah, I paid for it last night, but I've had the best sleep ever. I could just go back to sleep, but I'm getting it. It was lovely and cosy, as always. Always cosy in here. That is what we like, isn't it? Oh, yes. Hello. Already in a t-shirt. It's lovely and warm. Yeah, I'm gonna get breakfast on. I'm having a bit of a fry up. So, what was going to be last night's meal was actually going to be some bacon, sausage, and I was going to have that with this cheese and broccoli. Something really simple for a change. And I thought, well, I'm always taking away with me bacon, and if I bring sausages, I'm taking away sausages. So I thought, well, what's left over would make an awesome little fry up. I mean, yeah, it's missing, you know, some of the key elements. Your fried bread, your black pudding, your beans, but on a simple level, you still get your bacon, your sausage, fried eggs, tomatoes. I mean, I'm happy with that. And now what I'd normally do is I'd have one of these little DIY captain stoves as a little backup to get the breakfast on the go, but with all this dry grass and leaves that surround me, it could potentially start a fire. So the stove I'm using is off the ground, and there's a small patch of land, ground, whatever you want to call it. I'm still tired. Yeah, where it's a bit of a bald spot. Yes, something in common there, yeah. Anyway, where am I going with this? Where am I going with it? I should just go back to bed for a couple of hours. Take 2. Yeah, there's an area on the ground where it's basically just dirt. So that's where I'm doing the cooking. I do not want a fire. I do not want to create a fire. And I do not want to be using my water to put out a fire. So, as always, he said it again. Get the brew on the go, or 2 brews. I'm going to get the breakfast on the go, and I'm going to enjoy the tranquil sound of traffic. A lot of motorbikers out today. Yeah, I've come to realise they like using these on slips. What are you doing? I'm going to have a little word with myself on it. What are you doing? What are you doing? Try again. Yeah, they like using these big long bends on the on-slips for obviously banking their bikes. So I did read it's quite common for motorcycle accidents here. So I hope a motorcycle doesn't come flying through my campsite, because that'll be a bit, you know, a bit of a downer, won't it? Especially while I'm cooking breakfast. Trying to cook breakfast. I can tell you we are on the Yorkshire, usually on the Yorkshire tea. I did have some, there was a limited PG thing that the missus got me. I forgot what they were celebrating now, but it was one of their finer blends. But I do love me Yorkshire brew. Yorkshire. So yeah, we'll have one of them on the go. When the kettle's boiled, of course. I don't know if that will pick up that motorbike, but as already said, you'll find on this channel that I'm as much to do with the daytime as I am with the night time. Now a lot of channels, it seems to be, when the beer stops flowing, we'll get going. Yeah, straight off in the morning. We tend to not do that here. I like to enjoy the night time. I like to enjoy the daytime. If I get tired and I fall asleep, you know. End of. I'm still enjoying myself. I'm still in my bag. I'm nice and warm. It's all part of the camping. No bravado. There's no bravado, you know. there's times where I'll fall asleep and I'll be up at early hours in the morning, and you know, and there'll be other times where I'll crash out at 9 o'clock at night and I'll be awake at 5 in the morning. But the whole time I'm there, the idea is to enjoy it, to chill. So to me, as long as you're out there, you're camping, you're doing it your way. And I had this conversation with Molly. There's no rules. There is no rules. And when I say there's no rules, apart from leave no trace, of course, and not trashing anywhere, but camping is what you make of it. It's how you want it to be. And this is how I enjoy it. Whether I'm here, whether I'm on a beach, whether I'm halfway up a mountain, which you don't see much of that on this channel, I'm going to be honest. In fact, I think there's been one mountain, and that was with Tim. But this is me, I'm happy doing it. This is, you know, so again, say there's no rule. It's however you want it to be. My arm's starting to ache. I've left myself asleep. I can see it, I just can't be bothered to get up. Some birds going at it in there. So I'm going to call this the tactical breakfast. Why the tactical breakfast? I'm sure you're asking yourselves. Well, because I'm only using the one stove, I'm going to heat up the tomatoes, I'm going to cook the sausages, I'm going to cook the bacon, and then I'm going to put them in the pot with the already heated tomatoes with the lid on to try and help them remain at a nice temperature. And then finally I'm going to cook the eggs, fry the eggs, and I'm going to have a pot breakfast. So that's why I'm calling it a tactical breakfast, purely for the fact that I'm going to try and keep everything warm. And what I can do at the end, if the tomatoes have gone cold, is I can get the heat back under them, and obviously with the tomatoes, the bacon and the eggs on top, warm it up again to some degree. Yeah. Tactical breakfast. So while I was doing the tomatoes, I took the tent down, everything tent sleep wise obviously it's all packed away now. We've got the bangers in the pan. Oh yes. They've cooled down pretty quick, but I can still reheat them, no drama. But what an absolutely beautiful day. I can imagine in a few months that this area and all the others will be like wild meadows. It just looks like an area purely for nature. Now, the bird that was up here somewhere making all that noise turned out to be a jay. Went flying over there. Beautiful bird it was. And while I've been sat here, there's actually been a buzzard flying around. give them another minute and we'll slap the bacon in. Not far off now. You know, I can't see a single cloud in the sky. What a beautiful, beautiful spring morning. I know I've already said it, but wow, the contrast to yesterday where it was raining when I got here. We ain't messing around today. Go big or go home, they say, don't they? Yeah, considering I missed out on this last night because I crashed out early. Well, it weren't too early, but anyway, making up for it today. You know it. Go big or go home, they say. I'm going big, then I'm going home. I will have myself another couple of brews to go with it. And then I think that's me pretty much done, I think. Yeah. Not long now and that bacon will be done, and then it'll just be the eggs. I'm so hungry. Yeah, so I was thinking the other day, you know, just thinking back to younger times, and I thought to myself, if they put something decent on TV like they used to back in the 90s, I wouldn't have to come out camping every Saturday night, would I? You know, no, jokes aside. I mean, what is the dribble they put on TV now? Back in the day, you know, Saturday nights were worth staying in for. Yeah, some of the stuff. And it was entertaining. Some of the game shows as well. I mean, no disrespect to Oaks a Pigeon. I thought it was the jay again. There's a jay clearly nesting round here somewhere. I keep seeing this beautiful bird. But going back to what I was saying, you know, some of the game shows, or, you know, Big Break, I used to love Big Break. And then you used to have Noel Edmonds. I weren't the biggest fan of Noel Edmonds, but the show was brilliant. I still believe that the NTV was a setup. You know, back then you didn't have cameras tiny like you do now. How did they hide them cameras in them houses? And then, you know, oh, pretend all, you know, it's you, David, it's you, David Jones. Yeah, and then you're like, me, yeah, because you didn't notice the cameras hidden around your living room. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, maybe they had a way, I don't know. But yeah, Saturday night TV, you know, as I say, it's just dribble now, absolute dribble, you know. And you've got the likes of, you know, I'm a celebrity and stuff like that. I cannot stand it. I cannot stand it. You know what you're going in there for, and then, you know, you end up crying over some of the things you have to do. You don't want to do it, don't go in there, simple. Oh no, I don't get it. I do not get it. And I should get it because, well, it's not so-called camping. Yeah, I don't get it. But Anson Deck and all that stuff, and all your, oh, what do you call it? Britain's Got Talent and all that. Manufactured talent. Nah, not for me, thank you. I'll tell you what I do love. I do love shows like Four in a Bed and Come Dine With Me. You know how nice they are to each other, and then behind each other's back it just shows, you know, backstabbing, you know. And then you've got the Four in a Bed, they're all nice to one another until they see what they've wrote about each other, or, you know, and the arguments start because they've underpaid what they believe it should be, you know, worth. And it makes me laugh when they look in the most ridiculous places. Ooh, dust, get out of here. It cracks me up. But yeah. Another one. Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares. I don't understand that. You know, I do understand it, but you basically, good old Gordon goes into these failing restaurants, and it's the same thing every time. They argue with him, you know, they find all these faults, blah de blah de blah, and then every time Gordon turns it around. You know, this is so predictable. I mean, I'd just say it's trashy TV, but I don't find it entertaining. Undercover Boss, that's another one. Undercover, what are these programmes? You know, if they did an Undercover Boss here, it'd be the biggest backstabbing, you know, programme ever. In fact, there's the J. J's gone back again. But yeah. Come to an English workplace and listen to all the backstabbing that goes on there. All the slagging one another off behind their backs and stuff. Yeah, as you'll notice, I didn't stay in the t-shirt for long. Sat in this bit of shade here. It's looking at the temperature. Well, it's saying it's 16 degrees, but it's very windy, quite chilly wind. If I sat it there, it'd be nice and warm, obviously in the sunshine. Coming together quite nicely. I'd also like to point out we've got Sky TV at home, and you spend more time now with the remote trying to find something decent to watch, and I usually find that there isn't. I usually end up watching stuff I've watched over and over again, and a lot of times, personally, I don't even have the TV on. I'd much rather be watching stuff on YouTube, catching up with like other YouTubers and watching their videos, especially the camping videos and stuff, you know, seeing things from their perspective, and yeah, I enjoy all that. Yeah, that's 100 times better than TV. Now that is a tactical breakfast. Kettle's on. This is absolutely delicious. I'm probably enjoying it more the fact that I missed out on it last night. Well, the bacon and the sausage to go with the pasta and sauce. But my word, wow. Delicious. Anyway, it's all nice and warm now, absolutely perfect, you know. So if you're wondering how to keep your food warm when camping and you're having tomatoes, there's your answer. Tactical. Well, I think it is. Anyway, I'm going to enjoy this without a dead arm. and there's the selfie stick. Yep. Never fail to. Never mind. Never mind. So everything's packed away now. I am ready to get out of here. It's about 4 PM when I checked. 4 PM, I know. That's when you know you've had a good time. So, as always, golden rule, leave no trace. As you've seen, I had a little walk round, make sure I've got everything. And away we go. I've had a fantastic camp, nice and chilled, and it's been great having you along with me. I was about to say, as always, still said it, but yeah, once again, thanks for watching. It's been awesome. Please give me a like, please subscribe, and you can always buy the idiot a coffee. See you on the next one. Thanks for keeping it real.